In motorsport and racing, it's not what if you crash, it's when will you crash. And I popped my crash cherry last weekend at Motorsports Ranch Houston at my second track day with Ride Smart on my 2023 Ducati Streetfighter V2. Now, luckily, I was wearing all the correct safety gear and equipment, full leather tracksuit, gauntlet gloves, helmet, boots. So physically, I am 100% okay. Emotionally, we'll talk about that later. But luckily, we were able to get the crash on footage from one of the instructors behind me. But before I show you guys that footage, here is a hot lap in the dry the day prior, and this is actually my evaluation lap to move out of novice and into the intermediate groups where there's a little more advanced training and lessons and technique to be learned. So check this out really quick. I think it's pretty cool. This is my first track weekend ever at MSRH, and it's a really flowy track. It's very fun. It's much better and more enjoyable than COTA is, especially for a novice like myself. Luckily, the evaluation went well, and I got moved up into the intermediate group, so hooray! And yeah, everything was going good. The next day, Sunday, because that video you just saw was Saturday, on Sunday, everything was wet. It was raining, it was drizzling, the track was super greasy, and so yeah, I've never ridden in the rain before, especially on a racetrack, and the inevitable happened. My front tire, I overloaded it going into one corner, and it just washed out as if there was nothing there on the ground. So here's the footage of my crash. After my nerves calmed down and I was able to, kind of regroup myself and have a conversation with a person, I got with the instructor who recorded that footage, and we broke down the crash along with the other instructor who was doing my evaluation runs the day before. And from what we could tell, I had way too much of my body weight on the front of the bike and not enough going through my foot pegs into the rear tire. And so basically I was asking just too much of the front tire, and it didn't have the grip in those conditions, so low side and the bike washed out. The worst part of the whole crash was when I was on my back and had realized what was happening, and I was just looking at the bike just scraping in the ground in front of me. So I've got the bike here though. I just gave it a wash. It's all cleaned up. This is the good side. It's got the wings on it. The panels look perfect. Everything is so pretty and brand new. And yeah, let's just get it over with. Yep, wings are gone. And let's just go top to bottom. It's not that bad. Bar end weight, that's an easy fix. Clutch lever, already ordered new ones. The nut down here, that's replaceable. Unfortunately, the shock itself did get a little bit of damage to it, so I might try to just clean that up with a file and then give it a little brush of paint to hide the scratches. Wings obviously got yeeted into oblivion. This panel, and this panel got scratched up pretty good. This generator cover got knocked as well. That's super unfortunate because this one cover is $700 something from Ducati, and I think that's because it says Ducati on it. But an aftermarket company makes a crash cover that's kind of like a half shell that actually is going to cover this. So I've ordered one of those. I'm going to put that on, and that'll look brand new again. It'll hide the scratch. Foot peg got a tiny little nick in it. I'm not worried about that because someday in the future I do want to put a set of adjustable rear sets on the bike. The shift lever did impact pretty hard, and unfortunately it got bent in very far. So I do have a new one of those. A little bit of scuffing on the kickstand. I'm not worried about that. No one looks at kickstands. However, this ball did get bent super bad, and this is what I use to kick it out with your foot. So I got a new peg, easy fix. Luckily the shock, the tank, the tail, the rear carrier, sprocket, swing arm, everything is perfectly fine. So in reality, we're talking 1, 2, 3 pieces of plastic, set of wings, a little bar end weight, clutch lever, which, you know, levers get changed anyways on bikes, that's easy, and some shock damage. Replace those parts and we've got a brand new Streetfighter V2. Luckily, Ducati makes it super easy to get replacement parts for these bikes. On Ducati's website, they have a spare parts catalog. And you can go find your exact bike, your exact year bike, and view every nut, bolt, pin, clip, plastic, anything panel. So I've already done that. I've already ordered all the parts I need to repair the bike and make it look brand new again. So I think now the next step is going to be tearing off the old parts and we can start putting the new parts on. This little screw just came out of somewhere, and I have absolutely no idea where. Can't see any place where it possibly could have come out on. That's always comforting. We'll hold on to it, but I don't know where he lives. Tip for you guys, whenever you're working on stuff like this that you don't have everything exactly memorized where every little screw goes, once you're done, put the screw back in its hole where it belongs, so that way when you go to put it back together, you have all your screws accounted for. You haven't lost any because you put them back in their place. And that way on the new part, I know that screw goes there, so I'll just transfer this over to the new part, and boom, screw's accounted for. Of course, if there's already a loose screw that you did not remove, then I have no idea what to do with you. Now, this mechanism might be a little interesting to figure out how to get that shift arm out. I think it'll be easier if I just take Yeah, I think just take the rear set off the bike. Yeah, that's the right move. Just take it off completely. How to get to that other bolt though? It's just right here. Oh yeah, there it is. I do not know how to get to that freaking bolt. Alright, I'm gonna move the camera out of the way real quick and figure out how to get this bolt that's way up in there. Okay, like usual, just making it harder for myself than it needed to be. I just took this bolt out, unbolted the shift lever from here, and I can rotate this rear set out of the way, snake the shift arm out and around, and now there's just a single Allen key on the back of this Heim joint that I need to hit. So let's see what size you are. Come on, work with me. Get out of the way. Man, they do not make it easy on us. You know what? It'll be easier if I just crack this Heim joint loose and just rotate the thing around. Alright, this is better. So yeah, let's just crack this loose. Like so. And now we're gonna rotate the Heim joint. Everybody count. One turn. Almost. Actually not even. And there we are. Here comes the knuckle bust. Perfect. Did it crack loose or did I just waller it out? Nah, I just wallered it out. Nice. I wanted to do that actually. Okay, yep. She's done and she's cooked. Nice, Jacob. Nicely done. Now we've got a situation. Try again. Maybe. My little Allen key doesn't strip on me. Nope. Not at all. No chance. Ain't got nearly the engagement I need. Well, we have a Loctited and stripped Allen key on a loose bracket that does not want to stay in place. What could go wrong? Let's get her jammed up in there. Yeah, nope. Scheisse. Alright, brand new 4mm, unused. Knock her in there a little bit. Got the bigger bar. There we go. Got him. You're done. Of course, now it's all yeeted. Alright. See? Simple as that. Piece of cake. Got everything laid out on my truck bed. Old parts, new parts. Old parts, new parts. New wings. Old wings. Not ideal. Some panels are going to require some transferring. So like this red panel only is just the bare red painted panel. So I'm going to have to transfer over all this foam and this other black plastic onto it. And then got my new little shift peg. Cool. Oh, new little front fork nut. It's actually aluminum. Crazy. And upon further evaluation, this did not bend at all. It just had a near inch of it ground off. That's wild. So, I'm going to start switching over some of these plastic pieces. This panel has a bunch of little clips on it that I need to clip off and press onto the new panel. And in a few minutes, we'll be ready to reassemble the bike. Here it is in its true naked form. Oh, and also got the new bar end weight as well. So, time to rebuild. All right, got all the little black plastics transferred over. You'd be amazed I didn't break a single one of these little clips. I can't believe it either. So now it's time to start the rebuild. I'm going to start basically just reverse order, so get the hardest parts reinstalled first, and then we'll finish off with the easy plastics. Ah, yes, that's how it goes. See, we'll figure it out. Just might take us a second. And yes, I am going to red Loctite this bolt back into here. And yes, I will regret this decision whenever I decide to put an aftermarket set of rear sets on the bike, or do this again and have to replace this bolt again. But this is what we do. We just won't make it as tight. Perfect. Now, bend that back around, and then it snakes through into position. Okay. More red Loctite. Red Loctite fixes everything. Except my riding abilities. Stick that there. Put this spacer here. And voila. Reinstall shift lever. Alright, now before I go further, I need to re-tighten up this jam nut. More red Loctite. Because Loctite. Perfect. We'll just tighten this up all nice. Ta-da. Okay. Now, I think just bolt up the bolts. Put her back together, you heard? There were no Loctite on these, so don't need any. Yep, does the things. All right, we have an operational shifter again. I just got to tighten up this bolt that is held to get to. And we're going to do this quarter turn at a time. There has to be a better way to tighten this freaking bolt. But no, there's probably not. Oh man, this is a knee burner. Moses sandals. Come on, man. That's it. Oh yeah. We're tight. Doing the thing. Of course, red Loctite. Screw the new guy back in. I am noticing this is a little loose. Maybe it got... No, maybe that's just how it is. Right. Next thing done. Next, I guess all the plastics go back on. We are just moving right along. Spirits have been lifted. Take out the bolts that we reinstalled so we know where they go. Bam! New plastics installed, looking so fresh. Now we just have the wings. We're almost done. And just like that, the Streetfighter V2 is 90% back to its original health. Obviously, I don't have the lever yet up here. I'm waiting for the crash guard to come in for here, and I'm not gonna worry about that scratch for a very long time. And then this is still nicked a little bit. But it's a race, it's a bike that I'm taking on track days. This is the first time, but it's definitely not going to be the last time that I probably have an incident on this bike. So, anyways, I'm super excited that it's put back together now. In the next video, I am actually going to install the clip-ons from the Panigale V2 and take off the OEM handlebar that comes on the Streetfighter. And at that point, this will basically be a Pani V2 that just doesn't have a front windshield and fairing. And that's gonna look super sick. So, thank you for watching. I'll see y'all next time.